79. Al-Barr, the source of all goodness, the beneficent one, the doer of good, the all-pure. Al-Barr is one of the 99 names of Allah, God, mentioned in Islamic tradition. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Barr in Arabic, Al-Barru, the one who is the great benefactor, the most righteous, and the source of goodness. He is ample in kindness and desires good for people, bestowing them with health, wealth, and happiness. He is ever merciful and compassionate. He is the one who covered them with his sustenance and specified whoever he willed among them by his support, protection, and special mercy. Al-Barr is derived from the Arabic root word Barr, which means goodness, kindness, or righteousness. Al-Barr signifies that Allah is the source of all goodness and righteousness. This divine name highlights Allah's attribute of being perfectly good, benevolent, and compassionate. It emphasizes his kindness and generosity towards his creation, as well as his inclination to reward and bless those who follow his guidance. Al-Barr also conveys the notion of Allah's justice and fairness, as he treats his creations with equity and bestows his blessings without discrimination. Muslims often invoke the name Al-Barr to seek Allah's favor, mercy, and benevolence. It serves as a reminder of his abundant goodness and the need for humans to emulate these qualities in their own lives by being kind, just, and compassionate towards others. The name Al-Barr occurs once in the Quran. Indeed, we used to supplicate him before, indeed, it is he who is the beneficent, the merciful. Quran 52:28. This name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Al-Barr, speaks to his essences of kindness, generosity, and mercy. To enumerate his kindness is an impossible task. We will never be able to grasp all the ways in which he has blessed us. If we were to show our gratitude, it would never be enough. There are just so many layers to his mercy and kindness, his gift of creation, to instill in us a soul, to protect us every day from harm, to give us and the ability to enjoy all its fruits, to listen and answer our prayers, to forgive our sins and give us a multiplicative reward for our good. He's given us guidance through his prophets, may peace be upon them, and his books so we can live a purposeful life instead of meandering about aimlessly. He had no obligation to make the path to him so clear. The path to him could have been hard, reserved only for the rare truth seekers. Truly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the doer of good and most compassionate. In Surah Baqarah verse 185, Allah intends for you ease and does not intend for you hardship. The month of Ramadan is that in which was revealed the Quran, a guidance for the people and clear proofs of guidance and criterion. So whoever sights the new moon of the month, let him fast it, and whoever is ill or on a journey, then an equal number of other days. Allah intends for you ease and does not intend for you hardship and wants for you to complete the period and to glorify Allah for that to which He has guided you. And perhaps you will be grateful. Quran 2-185. Even in the treatment of good deeds versus bad, you would think a just God would reward an action based on its merit, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is greater. He is Ar-Rahman, the beneficent, and Ar-Rahim, the merciful. The Prophet speaks of how if you intended to do a good deed, but for whatever reason, it was not done, you will have written for you, by the angels, a good deed. But this does not discourage from the actual act, because the Prophet speaks of how if you intended to do a good deed, but for whatever reason it was not done, you will have written for you. By the angels, a good deed, but this does not discourage from the actual act, because if he intends to do a good deed and actually did it, then Allah will write for him with him. From 10 to 700 times to many more times, however, the same standard is not applied for bad or evil thoughts, it will not be recorded until put into action. The believer benefits from knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-Barr. He sees the kindness of his Lord, which increases his love and gratitude towards him. We understand how his mercy will always be available if sought after. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is clear and true in his promise: if we do certain things, he will grant us what we seek. Furthermore, upon reflecting on this name, we ask ourselves, how can we be among the doers of good? Aisha, the wife of Allah's apostle, reported that Allah's messenger said, Aisha, verily Allah is kind and he loves kindness, and confers upon kindness which he does not confer upon severity, and does not confer upon anything else besides it, kindness. Why withhold kindness? Why withhold the goodness and ripple effects it can create? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us he loves kindness and rewards his servant when he's in service to others. Hearing the right thing at the right time can have a profound effect on the trajectory of a person's life. It can unlock dreams unimagined. Words of encouragement can give courage and strength to one suffering, almost like a cure to an illness or a plant in need of water. But of course, the other side of the coin reads: words can create havoc if we're not careful. Fights, wars, and ties of kinships have all been severed just from the movement of the tongue. It is more powerful than we like to give it credit, narrated Abu Musa. Some people asked Allah's messenger, whose Islam is the best? I.e., who is the best Muslim? He replied, one who avoids harming the Muslims with his tongue and hands. Jarir b. Abdullah reported Allah's apostle as saying, he who is deprived of tenderly feelings is in fact deprived of good. This is something Prophet Muhammad understood and taught, which is likely part of the reason why he was so beloved. He never missed the opportunity to spread love. Don't assume your child knows you're proud of them. Take the time to tell them. Don't assume your spouse knows you love them. Make it a point to tell them. It is best for us and everyone not to be deprived of feelings of affection and kindness, because if you do, you will have stopped goodness and created a void that can be filled with shaitan. The repercussion will also be felt on the Day of Judgment, as we've limited the goodness that's receivable in our accounts. In the context of Allah being referred to as al-Barr, several interpretations and tafsirs, exegeses, shed light on its deeper meaning. 1. The source of goodness and virtue. Al-Barr highlights the absolute perfection of Allah's goodness and righteousness. It emphasizes that every form of righteousness, kindness, and virtuous action ultimately originates from Allah. Allah is the embodiment of all that is good, and his creation is imbued with his blessings and benevolence. 2. The one who bestows goodness. Allah, being al-Barr, is the giver and bestower of goodness. He rewards and blesses his creation, particularly those who strive to do good and align themselves with his commandments. Al-Barr conveys the idea that Allah's benevolence extends to every aspect of life, providing sustenance, guidance, and blessings to his creation. 3. The just and equitable. Al-Barr signifies that Allah is just and fair in his dealings with his creation. He treats all beings with equity, ensuring that his provisions and rewards are distributed in accordance with his wisdom and divine plan. In this sense, Al-Barr reflects Allah's perfect justice and emphasizes the importance of justice and fairness in human conduct. 4. Encouragement to emulate divine goodness. recognizing Allah as Barr calls upon humans to embody goodness, kindness, and righteousness in their own lives. It serves as a reminder that humans should strive to emulate Allah's attributes by performing acts of kindness, righteousness, and justice towards others. Barr inspires individuals to cultivate virtuous qualities and contribute positively to society, spreading goodness in the world.